Alrighty, everybody, welcome to another episode of the NerdCorp podcast. This is your one and only source for all things nerdy, whether it be video games, comic books, TV shows, whatever you need, we got your back. I am your host, as always. My name is Matt Hedrick, and here with me, as always, is the one, the only Mr. Chad Porto.
It's quiet. A little too quiet. It's Raph. Yeah, a little too Raph.
Ah, thank you. I love it. I love it.
I think
Too
that
good.
might be my favorite fucking moment in movie history. It's Raph. Yeah, a little too Raph. What does that mean, Mike? What does that mean?
That is one of the I think that's the one movie in that series where everybody's kind of divisive on it.
Really? No. People love Secret
Really?
of the
You don't
Ooze.
Secret of the Ooze?
Yes, people love Secret of the Ooze.
It's so silly, but that's why I love it.
In your dreams, twerp. Yeah, but in my dreams, it'll be about 20 pounds lighter. Ha ha! Fucking Kino. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is in fact a mullet. I don't know why people don't understand what a mullet is. They're like, hey, you have long hair on every side of your head. That's a mullet. No, it's not. Mullets have short sides like Kino.
Can't forget combat cold cuts. That's another good one.
So we got some stuff to talk about. You want to talk about Sonic the game? I don't care. So just do the Sonic, and I'll sit here and twiddle my thumbs thinking about naked girls, or naked women.
Okay then.
Oh, she's busty. Like the hips on her. Sorry, what? I have a pinched nerve in my back, and it's hurting really bad. So, I don't know. It's going to be a weird day.
Alrighty then.
I do, and it hurts, Matt. It hurts real bad. And, I do pain really well unless I can't sleep.
Oh,
and it's on my back, Matt. It's, between my shoulder and my neck, and, I can't move my head more than... I can go all the way to the right. But, to the left, 1/5, maybe 1/4 the turn.
Is there anything you can take that actually helps, or no?
No, I need a giant fucking thing to jab me in the back to loosen up the clustered nerves, so my nerves can be like.
Okay. Just voicing some concern. I know it doesn't usually.
I voice concern all the time about our show, but you refuse to stop doing it, so here we are.
I'm actually looking out for your personal health as far as physical ailments are concerned, not mental. I'm sorry I can't do it all.
You are my physical ailment.
So my physical form is causing you physical pain.
No, your existence is causing me physical pain. I'm pretty sure that this knot is named Matt.
Oh, don't fucking pull a little shot on me, dickhead. Don't fucking do that.
Started calling him Little Sean. Calm down.
This is entering creepy territory.
Wasn't that Gus who said it, or was it Lassiter?
Gus said that. He said I got one called Little Sean or something. That's entirely the creepiest thing I've ever heard.
I can't lift my arm up all the way because it's right there. It's not good. It's not good at all.
I am sorry, sir. That totally sucks. And this isn't going to help it any.
Stop flaring up, little Matt.
I'll try.
Not you, the other one. So Sonic did the game, and you're like, yeah, Sonic game. And I'm like, okay, that's a thing.
Sonic this is the 30th anniversary of Sonic this year. And there was a little bit of a presentation for it, and there's a couple of things that I'm interested in as far as the presentation went. There's going to be a little book of celebrating the history of them that Dark Horse is doing. I had another book like that for Mario, so I'm kind of looking forward to picking that up. There's going to be one collection of the first 4 Sonic games. and this is going to be the first time they're all together because of the whole licensing or music licensing issue with Sonic 3 and the whole Michael Jackson doing the soundtrack thing. So I'm interested in checking that out. That's not going to come out till next year, though. Um, the one I'm curious as to why it's getting a re-release is Sonic Colors Ultimate. That's was a Wii game back in like 2010 or 11 or something. I really liked it, but I don't think it was like some favorite or something. But it's cool to see it get a little bit more love, I guess. And the one I'm most intrigued by is the last video in this presentation because I couldn't make out what it was for. Um, Everybody's been clamoring, who at least who's Sonic fans. I personally don't have an attachment to Sonic Adventure, but people wanted this to be Sonic Adventure 3. And I don't know. It's just me. I feel like it was bare bones thing, and I don't know. I never really stuck with it. So, but I'm kind of excited to see where Sonic's gonna go, and I hope they can do a 3D Sonic game right eventually, and hopefully this new one will do it. But other than that, it was real quick one over and done, presentation. It wasn't anything to like totally write home about, but for fans, there's some definite highlights in it. So.
All right, cool. Now we can never talk about Sonic again.
Now we know what you really can.
Speaking of things I never want to see again, what the fuck is this Rugrats crap?
This is the one we're talking about, the one that was on Paramount Plus then.
Yup. Right? So let's be clear.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure the voice of Time Pickles is the girl from Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and she's in her 60s.
Huh.
And she can't do the voice anymore. It sounds like an old lady, and it's very obvious. Like I'm not even being funny. Like lady, nah. E.G. Daily. And like I haven't seen the full episode, so like I'm not gonna sit here and badmouth the whole thing. She's literally 59, so I was right. And she's not unattractive. Like E.G. Daily is gorgeous, but voices change as you get older. There is a great announcer, or a ring announcer, I should say, from Pride Fighting MMA. Lenny Hiddit, I think is her name. Let me Google this. Pride. Len Hart. And she used to do these really big, bombastic, like almost operatic introductions. And she'd like hit the notes, and like if there's a dude named Fedor Emelianenko, she'd be like, Emelianenko, Fedor. And like she'd hold it for like 30 fucking seconds. This is like 2004. She still does it for a promotion called Ryzen. But you can tell her voice is shot to shit now. She used to be a voiceover actress as well, and she's in her 60s, and you can tell she doesn't have the same bravado, and she doesn't have the same not dexterity, but the same stamina with her voice. And things just change as you get older, especially the more you use your voice, and like the longer it goes on and all that. So it's a thing. So like hearing E.G. Daily trying to do Time Pickles in 2021 is not good. At all. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad.
I wonder how many of them are like the original like voice cast, because I know for sure that the grandpa's not.
Well, Stu is not, because the voice actor who did Stu died. But I'm pretty sure that like everyone else is back.
The grandpa I know for sure is not the same.
Probably because he died. Because this show's 30 years old.
Well, it's weird how they turned him from like a grumpy old man into like a hippie. Almost, it's kind of strange.
That's awful. Okay,
I didn't like that approach.
So Dill's not in the first. They're twins. What the fuck is this nonsense? Anyway, so I'm on the Rugrats. I think I can speak. I'm on the Rugrats Wikipedia page, like the special fandom side of things. So Tara Strong says the producers informed that Dill will not appear in the first season of the revival. You've seen the show. Does Dill show up at all?
I thought they were Phil and Dill. They're both the twins, right?
Phil and Lil
That's
are the
what we're
twins.
talking
Dill is Dylan Pickles, the baby.
Okay, the baby. The baby. I've only seen like 2 episodes of it, and so far in those 2, no.
Okay.
I haven't seen them.
All the voice actors of the Rugrats from the original series returned to reprise roles. None of the surviving actors of the adults from the original series returned to reprise the roles. They have been recast. So only the bebes have been brought back. Cree Summers is back as Susie. Tom Dewey is Stu Pickles. Tony Hale is Chaz. Really? That's interesting. Natalie Morales, I already knew it was Betty. So they changed Betty. Betty is no longer a white woman. She's now a Latin woman who is lesbian, I guess. So that's a change. Her husband does not exist at the moment, or didn't exist, or something. I don't know. So I mean, I love the woman playing her, Natalie Morales. She's 12 kinds of sexy and awesome. So like, I'm not hating, but also like that's an unnecessary change. Didn't need to do that. Anna Chlumsky. Anna Chlumsky. Who the fuck is this? She looks so familiar. I think she was on a Disney show. Let me Google this chick. Hang on. She plays Charlotte. Charlotte Pickles. Is that the name of Tommy's mom?
That doesn't sound like it. No.
Oh, no. She plays Chaz's wife. That's right. Angelica's mother. Let's see. Oh, Anna. Okay. I know. She's my girl.
Oh, okay. I got you.
I'm like, I know this chick. She's from My Girl. My girl, my girl, my girl. Talking about my girl. So yeah, Macaulay Culkin died in that movie, and it still traumatizes me to this fucking day. I get it. It is not okay.
Everybody, man.
It is not okay in that movie, man. Like, and like the way fucking Dan Aykroyd tells her, she just like freaks out. I'm like, what? No. God.
That is still up there for me in like one of the saddest scenes ever in movies.
Do you remember like what happened right before it? Because I do.
Wasn't all I know is the reason he died isn't because he had a little he was stung by a bee or something like that.
Stung by
he had a reaction to it. I just don't. That's like what I vaguely remember.
Yeah, he got fucking mortified by those fucking bees. So like the whole movie is like her developing into an adolescent teenager and all that. So like she has her first kiss with him, and like everyone's like, "Oh, they're gonna grow up and marry each other." And then he dies, man. He just dies. He dies. Okay, it's not okay. I'm gonna watch this tonight, I think. I haven't seen it in God knows how long.
I am not surprised.
Dan Aykroyd, Jamie Lee Curtis, Griffin Dunn. Anyway, back to Rugrats. Timothy Simmons plays Drew. Nicole Byer plays Lucy. Not Lucy. Lucy Carmichael. I don't know who any of these two are. Let's see. Omar Miller plays Randy Carmichael. Oh, I know him. He was in... he's been in a bunch of shit. I think he was in Holes. He was in 8 Mile. That's for sure. Maybe he wasn't in Holes. He was in Transformers. He was in a show called No, what the fuck is that goddamn? It's the Rock show on HBO. Ballers.
Oh, Ballers.
Yeah, he was in Ballers. He was the offensive lineman who had just retired and was like thinking about coming back and then retired again.
Oh shit, that dude actually is he did a Turtles animation too. He was Raphael in Rise of the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, well, he's playing the new dad of Lucy. No, not of Lucy, of Susie. Who played him originally? Ron Glass. Oh, yeah, he died. He was in, Ron Glass was in Firefly and Serenity.
Okay.
Jamila Jamil is playing who? Where did I see her name? She's playing Lady Declutter. I don't know who that is. It's new for the show. Okay. And then Michael McKean is playing Lou Pickles. Michael McKean is pretty infamously known for like everything. He was in Coneheads, Better Call Saul. He was the main character of This Is Spinal Tap. Granted, everyone thinks the main character of This Is Spinal Tap is the guy who goes, this one goes to 11. No. Michael McKean played the lead singer. And I know who Jamila Jamil is. I think she does that show on TBS, that like prank show, like Can You Handle This Prank or something or other or whatever it's called.
I didn't even know there was a prank show on TBS.
I didn't know there was still a TBS.
Okay.
The Misery Index. That's what it's called. So I am right. And she's apparently in The Good Place, but I never watched The Good Place. Apparently The Good Place is actually like hell remodeled, and like that's the whole shtick of the show. And I'm like, that sounds awful. It sounds like a one-note show. Oh, my girl.
I really thought you were going with a different angle. I thought you were like, oh, it's going to be interesting. Nope.
No, it sounds terrible. Like the whole spiff is like, oh yeah, we're in hell, and I'm like, no, watching the show is probably hell. So yeah, baby. Maybe. So who? Cheryl Chase plays Angelica. God, I it's weird to me to see grandparents playing babies, but I guess that's just modern America. I have no interest in this revival. It seems dumb. I hate the animation. It's tacky. Just no. Let's talk about something that doesn't piss me off. Cobra Kai, Season 4, coming soon. Starring Kreese. I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it.
So it was in production. Now it's actually going to be like releasing soon, or what?
Yeah, it's releasing real soon because they just released the teaser trailer where Terry Silver, not Kreese, Terry Silver returns, not John Kreese. John Kreese is already back. Let's see. Tom's Guide. Do we have a release date? It began filming on the 20th of January. God, I love this poster. This poster's so hardcore. I'm going to send it to you. Oh, it's so good. Oh, Matt, this poster. It gives me the feels. Let's see, where are we? It's wrapped. It's already wrapped filming. It wrapped in April 15th. It says release date winter 2021. So we're not that close.
Oh, damn. I like that too.
Right? Like, that's a fucking poster.
That's epic shit right there, man. I am pumped.
I'm like 90% sure that the guy who plays him, Thomasine Griffith, is actually younger than Ralph Macchio. Let's see. Griffith is born in 62. Macchio is born in 61. I'm correct. Ow. I raised my hands. My back hurts. Little man is doing a number on me. Ow. But yes, I am correct. Thomasine Griffith is actually younger than Ralph Macchio. That's awesome.
Oh, God.
I love that. That's so dumb. Dude, Ralph Macchio is almost 60.
Damn.
What? And he's playing someone in his 40s. At least not playing someone in his fucking 20s.
Or a baby, for that matter.
Oh, God, don't remind me. So, I'm going to go back and watch this series, I think. God, that season 3 final fight was great. That house brawl, is great.
Fucking insane,
I
dude.
loved it. And then Hawk goes full face turn. Oh, I love it. It's so good. It's so good. I'm hyped for this fucking show. So I watched some things this week, Matt.
Did you know?
I don't know if you've ever watched this movie, but have you ever heard of a little ditty called That Thing You Do?
I have heard of this movie, yes.
Bow, 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 bow. So it's basically a story of a one-hit wonder. The name of today's show is called The Oneders. Oneders. I think I spelled that right. And the running gag in the first half of the movie is that the band is called The Wonders, but like the Beatles spelled their name B-E-A-T instead of B-E-E-T because it's like beat, like a drum beat.
Mm.
They spelled their names The Wonders with an O-N-E instead of a W-O-N. So everyone keeps calling them The Oneders.
Alrighty then.
So this is one of my all-time favorite classic movies, and it came up in the zeitgeist of my brain this week because I was doing an article on redshirtsalwaysdie.com talking about how Tom Hanks passed up the role of Zefram Cochrane in Star Trek First Contact because he was producing and directing and writing That Thing You Do. Fair enough. And I remembered to myself, that movie's fantastic, but Tom Hanks is utterly, utterly, utterly replaceable. And then I forgot that he wrote and directed it. So I was like, all right, not completely replaceable. But I stand by the fact that in the movie itself, he is not as impressive. There are some things that I would say could be done better. But I ended up accidentally watching a different version. I thought I was watching the 90-minute version, and I ended up watching the extended cut version. I didn't realize there was an extended cut version. They omit one major scene, or at least part of a major scene. There's near the end of the movie. It's a 30-year-old movie. I'm spoiling it. I don't care. Okay. They break up near the end of the movie. And part of the reason why they break up is because the lead singer doesn't want to sing That Thing You Do in Spanish, and Tom Hanks is like, Jimmy, if I tell you to sing That Thing You Do in Spanish, you will sing That Thing You Do in Spanish because you have a contract with me. And you'll do as I say. And like it was the only line in that whole movie I remember Tom Hanks having that had any like real like that's Hanks. Holy crap, like that's Hanks. The rest of it's very replaceable. But in the extended cut, that scene's gone, and it's just him going, Mr. White, I quit, or like Mr. White, I'm only singing my songs, and like the entire first part of that is gone. I think that's dumb. But I found out at least why I think Tom Hanks wanted to take this role and do this role, because there was an entire subplot that never made it to the theatrical cut. And I never knew it because I never seen the extended cut. So basically, the entire movie is about four guys who leave Erie, Pennsylvania, or I think that they're in Erie, and they become a successful rock group after their drummer breaks their arm, and they get Guy Peterson to replace him, and Guy becomes this charismatic wonder, and he ends up doing the drums, and he doesn't keep the right beat, and he gets really fast with it. And this song that's supposed to be a ballad ends up being this big pop hit and all that. It's great. Steve Zahn's in it. And like every time Steve Zahn's on camera, he steals the goddamn scene. There's a part where like this guy's trying to get him to sign a contract. And like Steve's like, he wants us to sign a contract so we can go on tour. You're signing, I'm signing, you're signing, we're all signing.
Steve Zahn is always solid, man.
When the song first comes on the radio, Steve Zahn tries to kind of hook up with Guy's sister who works at their appliance store because it's the 60s. But she wants none of it, so Steve Zahn grabs this cardboard cutout of a magician lady and like starts making out with it. And then he's dancing around the store with her like Steve Zahn. Mwah. So
that's amazing.
Throughout the bulk of the movie with Tom Hanks as their manager, because he's the second manager they have, he makes a little like subtle references like he's like, Guy, you're a good looking man, and you're like, oh okay, he's the star of the shit band, he's Shades, he's everyone's favorite, he's bad boy, he's got okay cool. But you start to kind of pick up notes and like little nuances in the extended cut. And they never really say it, but there's a scene where Guy gets shit-faced with Rita Wilson, Tom Hanks' real wife, which is adorable. And she shows up, and she, he's all drunk, and I don't remember the scene at all until I watched it in the extended cut. So he's drunk as shit. She's like an older barmaid type figure, and he's too drunk, and she even says, "You're no use to me now," because he's just blotto. And he gets out of the car, and like Rita Wilson and Tom Hanks have like a little moment, and he's like, "Oh, hey, I know you. You're that bartender." And I was like, "Ah, they're married in real life. Ha 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 ha." But then, like, drunk Shades is, like, stumbling around behind Tom Hanks. And Tom Hanks is yelling at Howie Long. Do you know who Howie Long is?
Howie Long is a professional. He was a professional football player,
Yes,
right?
turned actor.
Okay.
And Howie Long is, like, standing next to his car. And Tom Hanks is like, all right, I'm off the clock. Let's go. And, like, Shades is, like, following him drunkenly to the car. And then, like, they get in the car, and Shades is, like, staring at him, like, from outside of the car. And Howie Long's character goes, come on, bring him. It'll be hilarious. Or it'll be adorable, something like that. And Tom Hanks just laughs and tells him to drive. And yeah, apparently Tom Hanks' character in the movie is supposed to be gay. And I was like, wait, what? This is new.
Whoa. I didn't even know that.
Right?
Whoa.
So, like, that was new. I was like, what? Because, like, you watch the original movie, he has, like, no personal life. But then you watch the extended cut, and he has a personal life. I was like, holy crap.
Context, that's fucking crazy.
Right? And I understand why I got cut, because it's, like, 96, 95 this movie came out. It's like, all right, I get it. It doesn't really add anything to the movie. It's just kind of one of those, like, if you watch it, like, the extended cut, you're like, yeah, I get it now.
I believe I actually own the DVD of this, and I'm wondering if the extended cut is part of that.
Well, if it is, there are some scenes missing from the theatrical cut for some reason. I don't know why it's not just everything, but I mean, whatever. I'd watch both and just call it a day. Still a great song. 30 years later, 24 years later, 26 years later. I can do math.
It seems like it.
Great fucking movie, great fucking movie. And apparently there's like a little side plot involving Jimmy, the lead singer, involving this one song that he just refuses to let go of. And I was like, I don't remember that being as big of a deal in the theatrical cut. And I don't know if there was more to it, but like Jimmy really was like hounding them to re-record this one song, and I don't know why. So it's just dumb. I don't know. Anyway, so I also finished this seasons of The Goldbergs. I like this show. I don't like the fact that they're like, yeah, just it's 1980 something, and here's all these goddamn stupid references that don't make any sense. But like, whatever, it's good. And this season ended with two of the characters getting engaged, and I was like, yeah. And they also introduced Jeff Schwartz's sister. Maybe they introduced her earlier in the series. I don't remember her though until this season, and she's fantastic. It's a good show. I like it. So I would recommend it. It's top shelf entertainment. Matt, you've been reading some comic books this week, have you not?
Yes, I have. They've all been related, obviously, to the Ninja Turtles. IDW has started releasing a kind of best of compilations over the history of all the comics that have released for, each of the individual characters. And this kind of delves into a little bit deeper of the motivations for each one of them and why they do what they do, and a little bit more of their personalities. And I've read, so there's 6 in the series, one for each of the Turtles, and then Splinter and Casey Jones. So far, I've read Leonardo, Michelangelo, and Splinter. And what I find interesting, like the most interesting one out of all of them so far to me is actually Splinter's, because I've learned a lot about his past that I never really knew before. Like they took a lot of the angles I've seen, it's always been Splinter kind of just finds turtles, and the ooze is already on them, and then they become the Ninja Turtles, right? These comics now explore the idea of, in his past, he had 4 children that he taught martial arts to, all representing the same personalities as the Ninja Turtles, and having dealt with the tragedy that he does, it's been emphasized over and over again, losing his family. He now vicariously carries that on with him through the Turtles as his sons. He kind of just carried that on to them. I thought that was a cool angle to take. I also appreciate the idea of them not glorifying him as the big hero, like the guy saves everything, he's the master who knows all, he can do no wrong. In actuality, it was his he was actually the hothead between him and Oroku Saki. And it was a decision that he made not to go along with something Saki wanted him to do with the Foot Clan that led to all of the tragedies that took place in his life. So there's a lot of interesting stuff in Splinter's stories, and kind of makes me understand just how like frustrated he was as a leader of of his sons and everything. But it was a good read. As far as Leonardo's goes, the first story in it was completely obvious. I've seen it a million times. If you've ever seen the 2003 series, you've seen the story play out. 2012, they've done it. Do you know the thing of like Leonardo does like his ninja training and he's on the rooftops and he kind of gets ambushed by the foot soldiers? I don't know if you ever seen that one play out.
I've seen the Raphael version.
Okay. There's the Leonardo version where they're all kind of hanging out in April's house and he goes out for training or whatever and the foot soldiers corner him, and it's that infamous scene of him getting thrown through the window and he says Shredder is back or something like that. That one I've seen a few times. They explore him wanting to be a different leader than Splinter. He doesn't want. Splinter made a lot of bad decisions when he became the leader of the Foot Clan, and Leonardo decided to split and take the Turtles and turn them into their own clan, the Hamato clan. And when he did this, he didn't want the wars and all of that stuff to start. He basically said, he's like, look, all I want out of this is my family. I want peaceful ends to this. I'm just tired of fighting. It's just too much. It's brought me too much tragedy in my life, and I want to move on from this. And I like that they explored that angle. Gives some more depth to his character, and I find that they respect him, because Leonardo hasn't had the best treatment in stories, at least in the cartoons, other than 2003. And then finally, of course, we got Michelangelo, which the most interesting story out of his was in the recent run of the series. Mikey has he's very apprehensive to the changes in his family when Splinter took over, and he's the one who's hated the decision Splinter's made the most, and he decides that he's going to take the group of the kids or whatever that were living with Splinter and the clan, and they were going to go off and do their own thing, and Splinter corners him, and Mikey is not listening to him anymore, and he basically says, look, screw you, Splinter. You're supposed to be my father. You're supposed to teach me everything, and the only thing you've taught me is how to have more grief in my life, how to have more issues, and I'm just going to kind of move on without you. And they actually fight, which I thought was interesting. And he was standing up to him, and I'm like, I respect that. I respect him as a character for, putting his foot down and saying, I'm not going to take it anymore. I like that. Then there was one where he got caught up in kind of a jewel heist thing. I thought that was funny. I always like the idea of turtles wanting to blend into society. I think it's fun. And the best way they do that is like at costume parties, which I always find interesting. Because like, oh yeah, nobody's going to notice the giant mutant turtle walking around, but oh well. And then there was I think the last one was him having to rescue. Mikey kind of wants to. He always enjoys the holidays and stuff like that. So when Christmas time comes around, he ends up going to a toy store and just wants to play in the toy store, and comes across this hot new item that a bunch of people are stealing. He goes after them, and then a big like police chase ensues, and his only determination is to just get those toys to the kids who want them. And I thought that was nice. So they're good. They're really solid reads. It's if you're a fan of the characters, for sure you're gonna want to check these out. There's like at least 4 stories per thing. It's about 100 pages for each one. I'm still waiting on getting Donatello and Casey and Raphael. I want to see where those go. But so far, I'm very impressed with what I've been reading.
All right. Now we're moving on to, you've been playing a game called Knockout City.
Yeah, it's strange. I normally don't play multiplayer games, and I'm usually a fan of the single player adventures, but I saw that there was a free trial of this on Nintendo Switch, so I decided to dive in, and this game is ridiculous. It's incredibly fun and it's highly addictive, and it's simplistic, but the mechanics are complicated enough to where there's a slight bit of strategy. It's your basic like take out the other team and high score winning the game, that kind of thing. But there's like trick shots involved. I think my personal favorite thing is where you can actually, if you don't find certain, like there's different types of balls on the map, not just your standard. You got ones that are like sniping. You got ones that can trap you in a cage kind of thing and lock you down for a period of time. And my favorite thing though is if you can't find a ball, you can actually take a button and tuck and roll, and someone can grab you and use you as a ball against somebody. That way, if you're in a desperate situation or something. And like I said, I like this, but I'm worried about its longevity. I don't think something like this is going to have the legs to stick it out. It's trying to be a lot like Fortnite and kind of like Splatoon's kind of got that style to me, it seems. And it's got a free to play model, but it's asking you to actually pay for it, like $20, and I'm like, I don't know. So from what I've seen, it doesn't seem like to be any heavy pay-to-win mechanics in it, really, other than cosmetic. And I might be okay with it, but I don't see the longevity past, like, they got to put maybe more modes in it or something. There's only like 2 or 3 modes in it. And I think over time, this might be hot for a couple of months or something, but then you're going to probably get the next free game or something. I don't think this has the same potential as something like Rocket League did, because I think Rocket League took an idea and ran with it a lot better. But that's not to say that I'm not having some immediate fun with it right now. It's definitely different, and I like the idea of it not everything being a shoot or something that just kind of feels like going back to playing on the playground, just a nice little game of dodgeball.
So I discovered that this what is it? Dying Light, Dead by Daylight, has a Resident Evil mod in the works. Now, I don't know if it's official or not, but they brought in Nemesis into the RPD. I think it's like 2-player co-op. Maybe it's more, but I only saw Chris and Jill. No. Yes, Chris and Jill. No, Leon and Jill.
Okay.
No, I was wrong on one of those. So the models are everything seems to be from Resident Evil 2 and 3, the remakes. It looks cool. I've never played Dead by Daylight, so like I don't understand the engines or the weird glowy growing crap on the walls. I don't know like what that is. But if it's like an official thing that the devs are working on, like I don't know, maybe I'll try it.
It's similar in ideas to like the Friday the 13th game that came out.
Mm-hmm.
Like that whole like there's one central character and everyone's trying to escape and then that guy's just coming after you or something. And this one's just different because it just keeps theming around a bunch of different horror franchises. So but relatively same concept.
So it is official. There's a release trailer and everything. So that's cool. Maybe I'll check this game out because like I've known some people who enjoy playing it, but I don't know. Maybe I won't because also like I fucking hate online games. So like I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, because once an idea has run its course so far, especially with a game like this, and even what I just talked about, the servers aren't going to be up forever. The game only can last so long with ideas, before people start getting tired of it. And I have a feeling like before long this will happen to this one.
It's very possible. Let's see what else is on the docket. I hit the wrong button. Let's see. Got to run through the photos again. Let's see. So I watched, I think it was Gaming Bolt. They ranked every Resident Evil game ever ranked. And I was What Culture Gaming, not Gaming Bolt. And I was kind of surprised with some of them. Let's see. I know the RE3 remake came in at 13. So that was definitely something. Let me maximize this. Then I think, let's see, Zero came in at number 9. Let's see. The original number 2 came in at number 8, I think. Code Veronica came in at number 7, I think. 6 was Resident Evil 7. Let's see. Which I thought was really fucking high. 5 is RE2, the original. Let's see. 4 is Resident Evil 8, The Village. 3 is Resident Evil 1, the remake. 2 is RE2, and number 1 is RE4. RE2, the remake, I mean. I was a little surprised that Resident Evil 4 is still number 1, because Resident Evil 2 is better. And I'm not trying to be like a dick about it, but it's fundamentally better. Resident Evil 4 has some limitations. And I know, it was revolutionary. It was a game that did all these great things. But at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, but no one's going to sit here and say Mario Brothers is the best game of all time. It's not even the best Mario Brothers game of all time. It may have been super fucking necessary and may have been a game that was super influential. But would you, if you had the choice of playing any Mario game right now, would NES Mario Brothers be the one you go to?
No way. That would be Mario Galaxy without question.
So it's kind of one of those things for me where Resident Evil 4 has a lot wrong with it. Not a lot, but it has enough wrong with it that I think you can be like, yeah, the story's fine, but the villains are goofy. It's not even scary. It has like 2 really traumatic scenes, like the opening village sequence, and then when you're surrounded. Did you play 4?
I have played 4, yes.
So it's the opening village scene, and then do you remember when you're like with the Spaniard and you get surrounded in that cabin with the 2 floors?
I do remember that.
Those are like the only 2 scary moments. Oh, and when that regenerator bullshit happened, like, all right, yeah, fuck you. I didn't know what the hell was happening. I was like, yeah, I shot him to death, and he reformed. I'm like, God damn it, no.
But isn't like 90% of this game like out in the open? So it's not really that scary, right?
No, it's actually in like castles and whatnot, but it's still not like a truly scary game. It's very action heavy. But like 2 remake was perfect. Maybe a little short, but also heavily replayable. So, and I'm not even like a survival horror fan. So that should really give you something. It gives me the hippity-jibbitives. And I wouldn't even say that 4 is better than RE1 remake. So I would say, I haven't fully played RE8, so I can't really say. But I would say my top 3 would probably be 2 remake, 1 remake, and then I guess I'll go with 4. So that'd be my top 3.
The one I'm always curious about with you is, because you said you enjoyed it, where would the 6 game rank on there for you?
See, now here's the thing. I haven't played every RE game, so I don't have that, because there's like 20-odd games on this list, so I really couldn't tell you. But I would say, of the ones I played the original 2, parts of original 3, the remakes, all 1, 2, and 3. I played 4, 5, and 6. I think that's it. Oh, and I played both Outbreaks. So I don't know how many is that. That's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I played 11 of the games. I would put 6 probably in the top 5 of the ones I played.
Wow.
Because like I played Outbreak, but I wasn't a big fan of it originally because like I didn't have the complete understanding on what to do and where to go and all that jazz. So like, because it just came out in like 2002. I was like 15. I didn't have a goddamn internet to go Google things on. People were still using Yahoo to buy shit on. Like the whole shtick of Yahoo was, hey, there's a meteorite coming to your little fucking. Do you remember that commercial? The guy was like in a little trailer and he sees like a meteorite's about to crash where he lives. So instead of like moving his trailer, he buys like 1,000 fucking pillows and like lines his goddamn trailer with it on the outside, and like a little tiny pebble bounces off his trailer, and that's it.
I have not heard of that, but that sounds awesome.
Oh yeah, that was Yahoo's like buy shit on Yahoo commercial. It's like fuck it.
Oh god.
But so like I struggle with that game because I like what am I supposed to do? Like how do I fix the door? And like I need to where do I? So yeah, it was just big dumb. But playing it now, I'm sure I'd be much better at it. So I would put 6 probably at number 5 because I would say probably 2 remake, 1 remake, 4, 3 remake. I really liked 3 remake. It was short, but I liked it. And then I'd probably say 6. Fuck the originals. Fuck them all. Fuck them all. They're trash. Polygonal, nonsensical trash.
It's just like you're one of the very few people I've ever heard like 6 more than 7.
7 was trash.
I always, yeah, like every there was this high praise for it for some reason, and I can't personally say it because I never played it myself, but people just putting on blinders to this or something.
No. I think the reason why 7 gets the traction it does is because it's visually stunning.
Okay.
It's nothing to look at. And I know that sounds like a contradiction. The house is boring. The barn, the trap rooms, the second house where you fight the mama or whatever her name is, all that's like it all looks great, but it's all so dull. Like I don't find these environments to be stimulating. They're well done, but they don't interest me. That's one problem. The second problem I had with it was I hate first-person horror games. I think they're dumb. Of course, watching Matt try to play Dead by Daylight or Dawn by whatever it was hilarious.
Until Dawn, but I got your point.
That was great. Don't move. Matt breathes and dies.
Drop.
Matt,
Drop.
don't move.
Oh, see, you were wrong. See, it wasn't me breathing. I literally dropped the controller and died. It was still bad.
Well, no, that was only one time. There was one time you were like not breathing and you were holding the controller and then you took a deep breath and I don't know how, but the thing found you and I was like, oh, just put it on the ground. And that's when you put it on the ground.
The tension just snapped.
Oh, I couldn't
take it.
I couldn't believe how bad you were at that game.
Oh my god, I just snapped like a fucking twig.
I also couldn't believe how many lingering plot lines that game left. I want to know if that one guy was cheating. Anyway, but yeah, 7 visually really cool, but also visually stunted. Like the molded were terrible, and that was the only enemy type you had besides the main villains and like a few bugs, I guess. And like the main villains were like, yeah, like Mama Baker was gross, but like her fight wasn't really all that great. Papa Baker was interesting because you fought him like 4 times, but that was like it. The brother was irrelevant. The fucking main villain was awful. I don't know. It's a game that I think people kind of defaulted to. It looked good. It be good. But it's not really all that interesting. The puzzles weren't all that complicated. Like it got a lot of passes because everyone's like, oh, they returned to the roots. And I'm like, yeah, but have you ever had a root before? There's a reason people don't like carrots as much as they like fruit. Because the root sucks.
Great. I love it.
Thank you.
I love the analogy.
Root food is not as good as fruit food. I'm just saying. And I kind of feel like that's what was going on with Resident Evil 7. Everyone's like, yeah, they returned to their roots. Oh, my God. And everyone got so jazzed for it. But it wasn't anything to get jazzed about outside of the fact that it was first person scary. And then like, look at the jump scare. And I'm like, I don't care. I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that Silent Hill had just got canceled, or Silent Hills had just gotten canceled. And it was a game that kind of had like that feeling of what Silent Hills was going for. So everyone's like, yeah, at least we have this.
Yeah, all you got is a demo.
So it is what it is. Yeah, so check that out. Let's see. What else have you been watching on the YouTubes?
Let's see. In the realm of YouTube, it's been a pretty decent week, I would say. One of the most interesting ones to me It was she says he did the he's been doing boundary breaks, but he's also been doing region break where he looks at the specific game and it's how it's releasing in two different parts of the world. And this time he took a look at Contra, and there was and unlike most episodes that are only slight changes, there's drastic ones in here, especially with animation and stuff like that. Like there's full blown cutscenes that were not in the original version. There's like there's dynamic environment changes and stuff like that. Like trees actually move in the environment, so does the water and stuff like that. There's not really any flicker on the characters themselves, and it was all because of a chip at that time that was used in certain games for Famicom that was not allowed to be transported to the US for some reason, I guess licensing or something. So they couldn't program it to work on a regular NES cartridge. That's why you saw the massive differences like that. And I already knew about the European stuff and everything, but seeing just how much went into just some slight little differences is crazy to me. So that was a good one. Let's see. Nerd Slayer did a Death of a Game for Battlefield Heroes. Kind of gave some insight into one of the very first hardcore free-to-play games, and kind of one that kind of set the stage for what stuff like Fortnite would eventually become. And it was very dead. It was, I mean, honestly, the way he described it, it made perfect sense. It was dead on arrival. So I never personally played it myself, but from the looks of it, I don't think I ever would have anyways. Let's see, we got Scott the Woz probably had one of my favorites this week. He did a hour-long special to celebrate his 200th episode. If anybody's ever watched his videos, he's one of the very few people I know on YouTube that actually has a color border around his videos. It's it's a blue border, and in this episode, he actually made it a plot point, and as to that's actually frustrating him, and he wants to get rid of it, but then eventually realizes it's a part of him. He really can't. And there's a lot of good jokes within it, but I very, very enjoyable episode. It's just I wish it's like anybody else who does an hour-long thing. I gotta watch it in two parts because it's a lot to take in sometimes. Amanda the Jedi did Woman in the Window. Yeah, that movie. No, thank you. I will pass on it. But she had an entertaining videos always on it. She always makes me laugh with this stuff. Let's see. SNES Drunk did one on Battle Blaze. That was a decent video. He's been kind of here and there with videos as of late. I haven't seen him do as much as he normally does. I don't know why that is, but I'd like to see some more. But other than that, I think that is honestly about it for this week.
All right, well then we're going to wrap it up here then. RealNerdCorp.com, RealNerdCorp.com. We're on Twitter at NerdCorp, on Instagram at RealNerdCorp. We are also on our personals. Matt, what are yours?
You can find me at MNerdCorp on Twitch and same on Twitter.
You can find me on Twitter at ChadNerdCorp, ChedNerdCorp, and on Instagram at Chad's Photo Hut. That's it for us this week. We'll be back next Saturday for another recording. And, yeah, have a good one. Matt, take us home.
Good night, everybody. See you next week.